For centuries, the 750 milliliter glass bottle has been the undisputed vessel of luxury. But in 2026, the wine industry is facing a logistical and environmental reckoning. As a supply chain major and wine tasting student, I've seen the glass paradox firsthand. Glass is beautiful, but it's heavy, breakable, and carries a staggering carbon footprint. Today, we're looking at the sustainable pour and why the future of fine wine might be aluminum, or even cardboard. Geography is destiny in viticulture. The 45th parallel is the world's sweet spot, connecting Traverse City to the elite terroirs of France and Italy. Because we share this latitude, Michigan produces world-class cool climate grapes, Chardonnay and Riesling with bright citrus notes and crispy acidity. If the quality is comparable, we have to ask the supply chain question: why ship heavy glass across the Atlantic when elite viticulture is happening in our own backyard? But does the likes of a can compromise the wine? One of the biggest threats to wine is a light strike, where UV rays degrade sensitive compounds. Aluminum provides a 100% light barrier. From a sensory perspective, a wine's body, generated by its alcohol and viscosity, remains intact in alternative packaging, as long as we see enology-grade liners to prevent reductive H2S aromas. The liquid inside remains identical to its bottled counterparts. To see how this works, I spoke with a team at the Big Ten Party Store East. In the college market, innovation isn't about premium cans. It's about ready-to-drink formats like Beatbox and BuzzBalls.
So we've got 7 locations, and I actually help manage across all 7 locations. And specifically, cans are not a big priority when it comes to wine for us right now.
Right.
We look more to Tetra Paks and things like BuzzBalls that are wine-based. Those are budget-friendly and move much faster than a traditional canned wine. For some reason, the canned wines just don't fly off the shelves the way that some other things do.
Okay, I see. And what is an example of like a Tetra wine?
Tetra would be like a Beatbox.
Okay.
They are actually orange wine based. And then we've also got BuzzBalls, which I guess you could consider them a canned wine. They're the most pop top can that we've got, and we fly through these at all of our locations. They are a little bit easier to backstock because we can stack them up on top of each other, and they tend to be a little bit smaller in packaging. We do a lot of case ordering because we are a bulk movement store.
Right.
So the Beatboxes come in a nice pack of 12. These guys come, I want to say it's 24 in a pack, and they're easily stackable cases. So it makes being able to stash a large amount very easy as compared to like a bottle of Prosecco or something, where if it's a partial bottle, then you fall into things falling over and unsafe stacking, and it becomes a whole problem. A lot of my wine customers come in specifically looking for like a Barefoot or a Yellowtail lower end budget friendly bottle. So we stock a lot of budget friendly products.
Okay, so more of like the BuzzBalls.
BuzzBalls,
Beatboxes.
Beatboxes, Barefoot.
Not these guys.
Not those guys. As delicious as those guys are, I love them. Round Barn is a local Michigan company with delicious products. Hence, they are the only actual cans I keep on the shelf. So I don't think people view it as a higher quality product. I feel like a lot of times people will buy a canned wine because they already like the bottle.
Right.
And they may notice the notes may be a little different just because glass versus metallic packaging.
Right.
But it's not something that could necessarily say it's a high or low quality product, because you can have low end product in a can, or you can have high end packaged in a can for individual sale.
Right.
So it all just depends on the brand itself.
Okay. From a logistics standpoint, Beatbox is a masterclass in efficiency. Its Tetra Pak geometry eliminates the dead air of round bottles or spherical BuzzBalls, allowing for the maximum pallet density. This drastically reduces the shipping cost per ounce. But the supply chain isn't a monolith. At Dusty's Wine Cellar, a premium destination in Okemos, the perspective shifts from party to portion control.
People are venturing away from the bottle. I mean, this all started a number of years ago when a lot of suppliers went to screw caps instead of corks, and that was because there was a problem with corks, a failure rate of approximately 11%. So one bottle out of every case was bad, so they went to a screw cap. So that kind of softened things up. Most of the people that come in here looking for wine, either in a can or in a small cardboard box, they're looking for a single serving situation, because they're only going to have one glass of wine a night. So they don't want to open up a bottle that has a little over 4 glasses of wine in it. All wine needs to be protected from light and temperature fluctuations. So most wines come in a glass bottle that's green in color. There are a few wines that come in white bottles. And then whether the wine is shipped in a case, either in a cardboard box or in a wooden box, that's to also protect it. A lot of this doesn't add so much to the actual cost of the wine as much. I mean, tariffs right now are a huge additional cost to wine.
Definitely.
European countries subsidize their wine industry, help offset the effect of tariffs. An example is France subsidizes Bordeaux wines more heavily than they do Burgundy. They view Burgundy wines as a more of a premium wine, and they think that the customers are less price sensitive, where Bordeaux feels that they need to keep the price as low as possible. And Bordeaux also has a problem in the last couple of years of overproduction. So there's way more Bordeaux wine being made than is being drunk. New wineries in Michigan right now, because they are not predominantly growing all of the grapes that they need for their wine, they're buying juice. A lot of them start out with making fruit wines, sweeter wine, and that appeals to a certain niche in the market. Some of the older wineries that have been around for 30, 40 years and are predominantly growing most of or all of their fruit, they're viewed a little more high end, and some of those wines compete very well with wines from all over the world, whether it's France, Italy, or California.
And what are your thoughts on like wines from Traverse City? Since we are on the 45th parallel, which is similar to France,
Yep.
how would you say compare?
But there's some excellent wines coming out of Traverse City. I mean, some of our Pinot Noirs compete very well with Burgundy. Our Cab Francs are competing very well with Cab Francs from France in Bordeaux. And there's a number of wineries, I believe Mari is one up there, that are replicating a lot of ways that the Italians grow grapes, where they're actually partially covered by a greenhouse with open sides so that it can extend the growing season up there. So there's some really interesting things happening in Michigan wines, but that higher end market of Michigan wines competes very well.
Interestingly, the packaging in green glass or wooden boxes isn't the primary cost driver here. It's geopolitics. While tariffs threaten prices, countries like France subsidize regions like Bordeaux to overly produce inventory into the US market, artificially lowering logistical costs. This leads to divide in Michigan industry. While new wineries in Michigan often produce juice to make fruit wines, the old gourd in Michigan have been estate growing for almost 40 years. Producers like Murray Vineyards are even using greenhouse technology to extend the growing season, allowing Michigan to compete with Italy and even California. The sustainable pour isn't about replacing tradition, it's about logistical intelligence. Whether it's a Tetra Pak for a student or a single-serve can for just a night, for the collector, the goal is the same: getting world-class viticulture to the consumer with the lowest possible footprint. For the modern consumer, the value isn't just in the glass, it's on the journey it took to get there. I'm Donald Kim, and cheers to the future of Michigan winery and supply chain.